valence electrons and the number of covalent bonds formed. At the end of the last lecture, we concluded that a nonmetal atom tends to form a specific number of covalent bonds around it. The number of covalent bonds formed is decided by the octet rule. A nonmetal atom will keep sharing electrons with other nonmetal atoms until it gets 8 electrons in its outermost shell. Today, we're going to look at specific examples so that we have a better understanding of those statements, of those conclusions. First one we're looking at is oxygen. Oxygen is in column number 6A in periodic table. That tells you it has 6 valence electrons. As a result, it needs 2 more to get 8. Therefore, oxygen will form 2 bonds. The 2 bonds can be either 2 single or 1 double. Again, remember, each single bond means 2 electrons. That's 8. A double bond will involve 4 electrons. That's 8 around oxygen. What about nitrogen? Nitrogen is in column number 5A, so nitrogen has 5 valence electrons around it. Therefore, it will need 3 bonds. In this case, the 3 bonds could be 3 single bonds, 1 single and a double, or 1 triple bond. Let's have a quick summary of the procedure you will need to use when questions like this is asked. For example, if someone asks you, how many bonds will atom X form when it covalently bonded with other atoms? Your job number 1 is to find the position of element or atom X in periodic table. You find that basically you focus on the column number. The column number, the Roman numeral, is going to tell you how many valence electrons it has. Then you will use 8 minus the column number. That will give you the number of bonds it needs to form in order to get 8. Then you figure out the ways, different ways that number of bonds can be formed. For example, in the case of oxygen, we concluded that it needs 2 bonds. So there are 2 different ways to form those 2 bonds, 2 single or a double. In the case of nitrogen, it needs 3 bonds. There are 3 different ways to form the 3 bonds. 3 single, 1 single plus a double, or 1 triple. Okay. Try to answer the question for carbon atom. How many bonds will a carbon atom form when it covalently bonded with other atoms? How many bonds it will form? And in what kind of combination of single, double, triple bonds? Try to pause the video, answer that question. Once you have that question answered, continue the video. All right, remember, find the location of carbon in periodic table, focus on the column number, the Roman numeral, then find how many bonds it needs, then figure out what are the combinations that number of bonds can be formed. Here is the answer. I assume all of you got this one correctly. At least you answered that carbon will need 4 bonds because carbon is in column number 4A. There are actually 4 different ways to form those 4 bonds. 4 single, 2 single plus a double, 2 double, or 1 single plus 1 triple. All right. Practice. During covalent bond formation, what is the number of bonds will each of the following atoms form? All right. Normally, there are exceptions. We do not look at those exceptions in this class. So the first one, chlorine. Look at the periodic table. You will see chlorine is in column number 7A. So it has 7 valence electrons in its outermost shell. Therefore, chlorine will form only one covalent bond with other atoms. That could only be one single bond. Follow the pattern or the procedure. Complete the answers for sulfur, phosphorus, and silicon. See you next time.